We are moving on to our third presentation and the last presentation before our coffee break. So our third presentation will be given by a real business developer from TTT-AI. And TTT is an abbreviation I found out. I was not familiar with it, for thematic technology transfer. And where are you? Yes, she's working on a national venture building program, and there you are. Giulia Donker. Yes, yes, always. And Giulia, I almost forget, and please let me get you a mic. I have a Slido question for the audience as well. This mic? Okay. So, and this question is, for events like ICAI Day, do you prefer to join in which manner? So do you like to sit in an audience with a camera or without, or do you prefer to sit at home? And maybe we should look at the answers after your talk, Giulia. So the stage is yours. Not yet. Maybe we should turn it on. Yeah. And I'll
Zo
switch
technisch
mine
ben ik
on.
niet. Nee. Nou, hallo. Oh, that's all also me. Yeah, test. Yeah, okay, check. Hi, everyone. So I'm Giulia Donker. As mentioned, I'm a business developer for the Thematic Technology Transfer for Artificial Intelligence project, which is a mouthful. And I wanted to start with a fun question. I'm not sure, is this a Slido as well? Okay, yeah, doesn't matter. So in your mind, out of these three statements, which one do you think is true? It's based on a genome startup report, so that's the data. It's not my own conclusion. But in your mind, what do you think would be the right answer? I was actually a little bit surprised, because Netherlands has the highest density of AI startups in Europe. And the other two facts also have real answers. What is the real connection? So for example, we're doing pretty good just behind London and Paris, or median seed rounds could be higher, but we rank 13th on a worldwide scale, and we have the highest density. But we could say that in the Netherlands we're already doing quite a good job in our entrepreneurial ecosystem. But the only thing that I saw that caught my eye most is that maybe we could up the numbers of more investments. And then why would that be, that it's not high enough or not much higher? What could be the problem here? So I was thinking, together with my TTT-AI team, the Thematic Technology Transfer for Artificial Intelligence team, what could be the problem? So is it maybe because there is a foundation that is lacking? Maybe there could be more better help in the very beginning, or what are the problems startups walk against in a later stage? And there are, in my experience, three main things why startups fail very often, or specifically in the Netherlands. And that's the team, the product market fit, and the lack of network. Not maybe the lack of the network, but using the network. So think about the team. It's a very, very important aspect of a startup. And usually you think about the product, or the service, or everything around it. But actually, a team is very important. And there are many reasons why this can get cracks in the startup. So for example, there are no clear responsibilities. Maybe there's a lack of understanding of what the development should look like. Maybe there's only tech people in the group, so there's industry expertise lacking. Also, we all know there's a lack of talent, but also maybe low commitment, and so on. So we see that the team is a very important part of the startup. But also the product market fit. And I think it's already mentioned today, as an academic, or if you're very into artificial intelligence, you're like, I want to build something cool, I have an idea, I'm going to build it. But usually you forget to ask yourself the question, is there actually a need for it? Is it just a nice product, and is it a little bit better than all the competitors? Or is it something that's really going to make a change and going to impact the market? So ask yourself the question, what impact does it really make? Or am I going to build something that in 5 months' time I have to rebuild and pivot? And the other thing that we see very often is that a lot of people have a wide network, especially if you have amazing organizations like ICAI, Amsterdam Data Science, Startup Amsterdam, ACE, with a lot of network and community building. So everyone does have a network, but it's actually reaching out to them. And that's actually also something that Hinda already mentioned, that she really, helped her really well, and that's reaching out. Is it finding potential customers? Maybe it's getting advice from experts. Maybe it's getting advice from business developers, or or maybe even a buddy that is going to help you go forward. So the exciting title of this presentation, the rise of venture building. So we see that very often in a later stage, startups are walking against the wall because they have a lot of problems. But actually, if we have a good foundation for these people, that they can really from the start make a really good start for their startup, maybe then we can avoid making these mistakes. And we call this, within TTT-AI, we say this is what we see as venture building, and that's what we focus on. And specifically, if you look at the numbers for the spin-outs and spin-offs from academia, we see that especially there, we need some extra support. Hello. I'm sorry, I'm a bit distracted now. So what we do venture building for academics within the project that I said a few times, so you should be able to say it yourself as well now. So we specifically focus on researchers in the field of artificial intelligence. We have 10 different knowledge transfer offices in our consortium, including knowledge transfer offices from Amsterdam, Utrecht, Nijmegen, and Eindhoven. Some of the business developers of this project are also in the room, me, Mustafa, and Annemieke, but also Peter Westerhuis is the project leader, so during the borrel you can say hi. And we try to make use of the valuable knowledge within the Knowledge Institutes and give the researchers the opportunity to commercialize their research without having them to do all the hard work. So making sure they get the support they need, they have the knowledge they need, find the right team for them, make sure they don't build something before validating, but also utilizing the network of the 4 business developers in this project, which is a much bigger network than you could have by yourself. We do this through the 4 business developers that I already mentioned. And we focus on these 3 points, but we also do much more. But I thought this was the most relevant for this presentation. So my question is to you, what do you think about venture building? And that was it, by the way. Peter, did you want to join for the questions as well? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, I'll switch on my mic. While you think of another question, type it in Slido. Most of you really like to be here on site, so great. I don't know if all the online people said always online. Maybe you are the 6%. So, but it's good to know for future ICAI events. So let's go to the questions to you, Giulia. How do you define a startup?
You tell me. So for the specific project that I'm working for, we work with researchers. So then, we call it a startup, but it's not really a startup yet. It's more of an idea and a concept. And you want to try to bring it to KVK-inschrijving, Chambers of Commerce in English. So that's for a lot of people how you define a startup once you're registered. But for me and the project, we already help earlier stage, and in this case, I used the word startup for that as well.
Yeah, I do have a KVK as well, but I'm not a startup, so yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Do you have to have a team as
well?
Yeah.
Usually it's a team and a specific concept, and you want to grow to a big company or at least a SME.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. How many researchers have you helped so far? Ooh.
Is this a question specifically to me or the team? I think we counted the numbers yesterday or the day before, Peter. And there are a lot of people that come to us and we check if we can help them. And sometimes the answer is no, we cannot help you. And sometimes the answer is yes. But the people that have approached us or the people that we've been working with are about 50 that have crossed our tables, and we started in January-ish. So that's quite short amount of time and quite a lot of people. But yeah, we hope to help a lot of researchers to really bring their ideas to a startup. And we haven't had that within our project so far, but that is because it takes some time.
Yeah. Are you expanding towards other cities? I think, do you expand to Groningen, maybe some other, yeah.
Yeah, so this is some question that Peter should answer, but if I may, we have also a lot of affiliated partners, and that has a much wider range. I'm not sure if we have an affiliated partner in Groningen, but yeah, we're exploring if it's possible that the affiliated partners might also become partners or not. So we're still finding out what works best.
Yeah, there are still a lot of questions coming in.
Am I so fake?
Yeah, no, not at all. People, I think people are going to ask you a lot of questions during the break. Shall we do one more? Are you currently supply or demand constrained?
As in constrained in the bottleneck? Whose question is this? Yours? No? If you would be a little bit more specific, I would be better able to answer the question.
Maybe it was someone online then. Yeah.
I don't know the question, but I take it to mean supply in the sense of, are you able to help everybody that comes to you, or are you looking for people that need help, or which side is the bottleneck?
Yeah, so I would say both. So I think there's plenty of researchers that we can work with. So there's plenty of work to do, but we're still looking for the very top-notch cases. So we're also looking for more cases with higher potential. So I think it's both, which is a very unhelpful answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's very important. I hope more and more researchers realize that there's a lot of potential research that can be commercialized. But then hopefully we also get a bigger team.
Okay. Well, then the very last question, because there are 6 thumbs here. Do the researchers, in your experience, get involved as major partners or just minor equity?
It depends on their role within the startup and the negotiations. But yeah, if you spend a lot of time working on the startup, of course you get a good share. Yeah. It's not that the university takes it all, for sure not.
Okay, yeah.
And within TTT-AI, we're just a national project, and it's all the knowledge transfer offices locally that make these decisions and the negotiations. So that's outside my official scope within the TTT-AI.
Yeah, we'll hear a lot about that this afternoon from the people in TechLeap, for example. They will elaborate about it. So thank you, Giulia, for your talk.
Enjoy the break.
Yeah.